This year we partnered with Mark 7 Reloading and Mojo Precision Brass to bring you two insane brass prep stories. We started with 45,000 rounds of 223 and now are tackling 90,000 rounds of 9mm. This is the flagship reloading machine from Mark 7 Reloading. This is the revolution. In this video, we're gonna get it out of the crate, we're gonna set it up, and we're gonna put it to use. Hey guys, Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. I'm back with Mark 7 Tech, John Vlieger. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, Gavin. Glad to be back here.
Yeah. Now, so John comes by all this honestly. He's a competitive shooter. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I shoot USPSA, United States Practical Shooting Association. About to go to the 2025 World Championship in South Africa here in a few months. I shoot 20 to 30,000 rounds a year-ish with Mark 7 equipment, loading it, obviously.
Yeah.
And love what I do. Work in the technical service department, Mark 7, doing stuff like this every day.
And you saw John on our channel when we set up the Apex 10, and those videos, if you're looking at a machine or have one and want to know more about how to set it up and maintain it, are a great resource. This time we're talking about Revolution. I'm really excited to get this out of the box, so why don't we get to it?
Sounds great.
If you're looking for brass in bulk, check out Mojo Precision. It's where we got our brass from. They're gonna treat you right. Well, unboxing went quick, especially with two guys on the job.
Yeah, I don't usually have help. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do we have here?
Well, by our feet is the actual Revolution core itself, and this is as it is in the crate. All we did was pull the lid off. This does have some options on it. This is not necessarily how it comes with the dies installed and all the sensors installed, but that is an option we offer if you want to order it that way.
Cool.
So it's on its base plate, very compact package with a direct drive. This can get picked up and put on a stable surface, and most of the work's already done. You don't have to worry about bolting it down.
Nice.
Moving on from what we have here in front of us, going down the left-hand side as the camera sees it, we have our sensor boxes. The sensors are already installed, but we include the boxes, for your instructions, spare parts. The white box has the tablet, which is your user interface to run the machine. Moving down from there, we have our acro bin as well as our die box. That black box there with the cables on it is your vibratory controller. And one of the main parts of the Revolution is its onboard primer collation. Those of you who don't know what that means, it means no more primer tubes.
Yep.
It's right here, and that box runs and helps, it's what adjusts the vibration and the frequency to get it tuned the way you want. Tablet bracket next to it, some odds and ends, spare parts, and like cable management towards the bottom edge of the cardboard. Moving to the right, we have our decap hose. So we have our primers going off where we want them.
Into a garbage can?
Yeah, preferably with water to keep the lead stiphanate aerosolized, keeping it from,
getting into the air, into your lungs?
Yeah. Lead contamination is a real concern. Follow your doctor's recommendations.
Nice.
But yeah, moving over, we have our infrared case feed sensor here in the middle. We went away from a mechanical switch, so now it's an actual IR eye to turn the case feed on and off. Digital powder measure is next up with its hopper and control box. And we have our feeders off to the side as well with our bullet feeder, Mr. Bullet Feeder Pro, and then our 14-inch case feeder right next to it. 14-inch case feeder being a big upgrade from what people normally see with the usual bench-mounted presses. 14-inch has much higher capacity and torque that we need for more. And then we just our case feed poles, offload chute, and some accessories for the bullet feeder. And that really wraps up. Oh, can't forget the user manual right there in the middle.
Of course, yeah. So we'll get this unbolted, put the core on the bench, and start to put it together. Huh?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so we got the machine on the bench, the core. What are the first set of setup steps?
We're going to take all of our cables, we might see here, get them unbundled, get plugged into the console, and get power to the unit. And we're done.
Cool.
So now we're going to install our case feeder and its pole, as well as the IR case feed sensor, and the bullet feeder on its pole as well.
All right, John, this is starting to look like a reloading press.
Almost there. In fact, the next steps are to install the tablet with its bracket on the pole so we can boot it up and make the head go up and down.
Sounds good. Okay, so all of our cables are connected and the tablet is hung. Is it time to power this on for the first time?
Yep, we're gonna hit the main power switch on the back of the console.
Okay.
Motor grunts, that's great. And we got power to the tablet. Now that we're fully powered up, we have our user interface popped up. Go ahead and hit loader, the top left.
Okay.
That'll bring us into the waiver screen, letting you know that this machine is, hey, it's moving metal. Be careful. And once we get the accept deny buttons to populate, we can go in, boom, hit accept. Now we're booted. We're powered on with tablet. First steps, we can do a quick visual, make sure nothing's blocking or obstructing, but we can hit calibrate. That's going to allow the machine to find its top and bottom limits.
Hey, it came to life. Gotta love it. Okay, is that done? Nope.
Wait for it.
Okay.
Now we're done.
Okay. Says to hit OK. Nice. So now the machine knows where the top and the bottom is, and
we can operate.
Nice.
Technically, if we were ready to go, if we had components loaded, this would be the startup procedure and we could start loading.
Awesome. So we're booted and we've gotten to calibration, home position. What's next?
So one thing I love to do once we get to this point is make it go up and down a little bit. This will show if anything sounds wrong or is acting wrong. We just shipped this across the country. We want to make sure nothing came loose.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and just hit run. We're at 2,000 rounds per hour. And we're going to see it move up and down. I like to listen and look in this stage. Nothing sounds out of whack. We're not hearing any clunks. It sounds exactly the way it should. It's moving smoothly. Everything's moving in time. Shell plate index is correct.
Quieter than the Apex 10 for sure.
Yes, direct drive.
Love
direct drive motor.
Yeah.
So we can hit end cycle now.
Okay.
And we can move on to the next steps.
Okay, let's do it.
Next up, installing the digital powder measure. That entails assembling the upper. We're going to put the hopper into the upper with a press fit. We're going to drop the upper into its lower housing. It's already installed on the tool head. Attach it to the electronics control box and attach the electronics control box to the console.
Well, that didn't look too bad.
No, pretty simple install. I do want to do a functions check here now that we have it installed, and that's as simple as making sure that the arm auto-calibrates and that we have our die height setting correct to where it activates with a case present but doesn't activate when one isn't present.
Makes sense.
So as simple as turning it on. The arm auto-calibrates from its top position all the way to the bottom. We can put a case underneath that station. If you want to do me a favor and turn the powder measure on and hit run, we're going to let it do 2 cycles.
Okay. So,
activates with a case.
Nice.
And did not activate with no case.
Okay. End cycle?
End cycle, please.
Okay.
Real simple functions check. Digital powder measure. It's digitally actuated. We're checking to make sure our settings are right to make that happen.
Right on. So what's this?
That's one of the last things we have to install. This is our vibratory controller for the priming system.
Awesome.
This is what controls the power and speed for that. We're just going to plug it in.
So the machine is put together. Why don't we quickly talk about our load? This is kind of one of our standard loads. We've got CFE pistol powder. It's got that copper fouling eraser built in, which is great. Our preferred bullet for 9mm right now is the HBRN 9mm 124 for berries. Affordable. It's got that hollow base. They seal up real nice. And then we've got CCI small pistol primers. So
pretty standard.
Yeah, should be a good load. So if you've seen our Apex 10 content, the die stations are actually pretty much all the same in terms of how they're used, what goes on at each location. You want to run through that real quick?
Of course. So we have a 10-station tool head. That means we can isolate every function. First station is station 1 with our case feed. Then we have decap. Universal decap here. If you're going to decap, it has to be here for the offload chute. And we have a swage up next with our corresponding hold down die above to get rid of any military crimp and make sure the primer pocket's ready to receive a primer. Sizing die is over our priming station. You can also run a hold down here if you like. That helps center and support the case while we are priming it. Expansion with the Lyman M die. When you're in automation, you're worried about the bullet toppling as you index, so having an M die is excellent addition. Puts more of a shelf than a V in the brass. We have our digital powder measure next. Drop powder in the case. Digital powder check to ensure that the powder level is not too high or too low. Helps prevent accidents. Mr. Bullet Feeder dropper to drop that bullet on the case after it's been powdered and checked. And of course, micrometer bullet seating, micrometer crimp. And then it's offload into the bin. We have a loaded round.
Yeah, you know, 10 stations might sound like a lot, but you can see here, this is the optimal setup.
Yes.
Individual adjustability for each operation is paramount to efficiency of setup and then also troubleshooting and, you know, handling situations when they come up.
Absolutely. The troubleshooting is much bigger than you might realize. When you have an issue that you might have with your load, I want to be able to track it down to one station. I don't want to be worried about other adjustments in that die that might be confusing what we're looking for. Yeah,
like for instance, separating the seating from the crimping. If you have a different bullet that you're using or a different case length, now we can optimize those separately and not have them throw the other die out of adjustment effectively, you know. So it's great to have that kind of a capability, and kind of what I'm thinking is, let's add the components and then we can walk through verifying and or adjusting, you know, each of the stations.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
So adding primers would be our first step. Bowl capacity is up to about 500. We're going to add 300 to start.
Nice.
And I love about this is we can just skip the primer tubes entirely.
That is the way things should be.
Some more here. The key when you're doing this is to move the plastic, not the cardboard.
Yes.
Okay, we got 300 loaded. Let's turn it on. Adjust our speed.
Hey, there we go. Look at that.
And should shut off. There it goes. Primers are loaded. Move on to bullets. I'll let you do the honors here if you want to. A little bit taller than me if you want to dump about half that box in there. Great. I'm going to take a few handfuls of unprocessed brass, throw them in the hopper. That'll be all right to start. And lastly, don't need a funnel if you're skilled.
That's right. We've got the screen here in case we've got pieces of styrofoam or whatever, gasket.
Bullets, cases, it just helps keep mistakes from happening. But we're gonna very skillfully throw some powder in here. Don't need a whole lot, we'll go like a third full. That'll be great for our purposes.
Very nice.
Hopper holds about 1.5 pounds depending on your powder. All right, throw this on there gently. We've loaded components. Now we can get into checking our settings, making sure the load data is what we're loading.
Awesome. So you just performed the final validation, kind of the way that you like to do it. And what does that exactly consist of?
So it's dies and sensors.
Okay.
When this arrived, it had the dies installed already, and the majority of them were set and we could have ran, but not with our load data. Just like with any load, you have to tune your machine to get what you want out of it.
Our bullet, our seating depth, charge weight, etc.
Exactly. Emphasis being on the charge, and then setting our sensors to take that as a go situation.
Right.
So we wanted our sensors to go off when it's a no-go. When there's not the correct amount of powder, when the bullet is not positioned correctly, so on. So that was the main part I was doing. I was getting a dies set for what we want, and then I was setting the sensors to reflect that.
Nice. All right, well, everything's run up. Should we actually load some ammo?
Let's load some ammo. Let's do it.
All right.
Starting at a low speed, so we can do some of our preliminary checks while it's loading, and then we can bump the speed up once we're satisfied.
Sounds good.
We got cases loaded, powder, bullet, primers are in the ramp ready to go. I'll let you do the honors and hit that magic run button.
Okay, let's do this.
We're depriming. Go ahead and go to the Sensors tab to be ready to turn our sensors on when we need them. Primer orientation is going to be the first one. Now is fine. great. Oh, digital clutch activated. So this is a great time to talk about this. Digital clutch is a pressure cutoff. We don't have our hand attached to a handle, so we want the digital clutch to stop the machine when an over torque situation exists. You're running your hand press, you feel something crunchy, you stop. This is the replacement for that in a digital world. So we're gonna hit OK on the alert, go to control, and we're gonna bump this up to a 5.
Okay.
We are sizing and we are swaging. So we want to have a little bit higher of a cutoff before the machine stops.
Yep.
Because we have work to
Expected
do.
forces, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We know we're doing this stuff.
Yep.
Go ahead and hit run when you're ready. Finishes the cycle.
Got powder now.
And when we go up in speed, it'll be a little bit easier to overpower through the torque as well.
Did we need to activate powder check?
Yep, we missed that a little bit, but we're watching the physical.
Okay.
Go ahead and turn powder check and bullet sense on.
Okay. A lot happening. It's good to start slow, right? Just make sure we like it.
One of the things too is with the powder check in particular, we can watch it physically as a double check.
Nice.
You can put your eyeballs on it, you see the probe moving up and down, you know it's actually checking. Even if it's not on, you're still getting some satisfaction that you're not making mistakes.
We're loading ammo.
Yes, sir. So when we bump the speed up, we're going to be looking for certain things.
Okay.
Namely, bullet sense went off. What happened? No bullet dropped.
Okay.
We can
That
get into
might need
that.
some adjustment or something.
Might need some adjustment. We're going to inspect that in just a moment. Let me finish what I was saying about what we're looking for.
Okay.
We're looking for stuff like this, exactly. But at higher speeds, we're worried about powder sloshing out of a case.
Okay.
So that would mean we want to adjust our index to slow it down. We're also looking for bullet toppling off the case, which would be a sign of either slowing down the index or adjusting our expansion to be a little bit more to help retain that bullet
More engagement.
harder.
Yep.
And we'd also be periodically checking our powder charge just to make sure that our dwells are adequate for the powder charge we're dropping. We're loading 5.2 grains of powder. That's not very much. I'm not worried about that as much as I'm worried about the other things I just covered.
Yep. Okay, so why don't we check out the bullet feed issue and we'll come back to loading.
Yeah. So with that bullet sense alert, it notified us a bullet wasn't there. I had to do a small adjustment to our bullet feeder. We got that corrected. We manually placed the bullet back on the case, so we're
So
good
we can just resume now.
Yes.
Nice.
With the sensors, it's always on the operator to fix whatever the core problem was.
Right.
That's why we have the sensors, though, let you know there's an issue.
Yep.
So we can clear that error by hitting OK, and we can just hit run again. Let's go ahead and bump the speed up to 1500. Just give it a little more oomph behind the operation. So from 1000 to 1500. While we're operating, we're watching our component feed. You can see our primers. In a while, we'll need more primers, not anytime soon. We might want to throw some mirrors up so we can see inside of our
Certainly.
inside of our case feeder and bullet feeder.
Yep.
Always keeping an eye on our powder level, because that's very crucial. And other than that, we are keeping our eyes and ears open for anything that's out of whack to be able to correct it and step in. But really, we're just watching the machine work.
Nice.
So we're at 2,000 rounds per hour here, making ammunition at an effective rate. We go to our monitors tab, about 1775. That's because we have dwells set to slow down the shell plate index to help with our, prevent bullet topple. We could speed that number up by adjusting those indexes, or those settings in the setup tab here. But where we're at right now is, generally speaking, where we like to be. We could squeeze a little bit more out at this speed, or we could just bump it up to 2,500 rounds per hour.
Yeah. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's give it a shot, see what happens. See where the wheels fall off.
Yeah, exactly. And with our dwells, was that on monitors? So we're at now over about 2,200 effective net.
What I like to say is the rounds per hour is your gear you're in the car.
Right.
If I'm in third gear, I can go up to 60 miles per hour. Here we have dwells that bring us back down a little bit as if we're not on the accelerator as hard.
Yep.
At the end of the day, you're going to tune your settings and speed for the variables you have.
Nice.
All while with the aim of maximizing quality and output.
So it looks like we're kind of up to steady state here. Should we turn it off for a bit?
Yeah, we can hit end cycle.
Okay.
Always hit end cycle, leaves the tool head top of the stroke, ready for its next command or doing whatever we need to do with the tool head and shell plate.
Nice. Well, John, that wasn't bad at all, I'll have to say.
No, Revolution is a beast of a machine. Looks more intimidating than it is, though.
Yeah, and with our experience with the Apex 10, this feels very natural. I feel like I'm at home here. Couple big differences. In terms of how the machine is constructed, also this is a full commercial machine. You want to talk a little bit about the differences there, like between this and Apex 10?
Of course. And it's a very common comparison. Hey, we have Apex 10, which is aimed at more the sport market, the individual who loads a lot of ammo for themselves for competition. Maybe they're a boutique ammo manufacturer starting out.
Light production.
Yeah, light production. We aimed Apex 10 and what we made the materials out of for that purpose. With Revolution, we are aiming at the commercial market. We want to make something that has the wear resistance that you would need in something that generates revenue. This is something that you're purchasing to make your business make money. So we want to have parts that are more resistant to wear, namely the top plate, which is right underneath the shell plate here. That's a wear surface that's made from hardened steel.
Nice.
We have our index cam, the index mechanism that drives the shell plate indexing. That is also hardened steel. We don't have those same components in Apex because it's not aimed at that kind of volume. We're talking millions of rounds of life estimated and expected out of a Revolution. That's not quite what the sport user is aiming the Apex at.
Yeah, that's cool. And, you know, I hope this has been useful. If you want to know what Revolution is about, this is, I think, a great intro. But we've got more content coming up. One of the stories, which is going to be really cool, is we've got 90,000 9mm cases for Mojo Precision. And this is going to be a multi-phase project. We're going to process all of it. And that's going to involve the swaging, sizing, you know, getting the cases into the condition where they're ready to be loaded. Then we're going to do separate priming, which is actually pretty common in the commercial reloading world. And then do the powder charge, the bullet placement, seat, crimp, finish the ammo off. So that should give you an idea of if you're going to load commercial pistol ammunition, how the process differs than, you know, compared to what we show on the channel normally. Then we also have a comparison of Apex 10 to Revolution to Titan, which is the flagship Mark 7 machine, tandem loading, really large cartridges, pushing everything kind of to the max.
Industrial.
Yeah, so that will be awesome.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again, John, for coming.
Thanks for having me.
This has been really fun, and I can't wait to put this machine to some really good use here.
Yep, get some wear on it.
Yep. If you guys have questions specifically about Revolution, Apex 10, or Titan, join us down there in the comments section. Drop a comment and we'll join you there. We'll answer your questions. We can have a discussion. If you have a Revolution and you have specific insights or experiences that you want to share, also drop a comment. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.